Have you ever felt uncertain about your path? Maybe you've wondered if you're truly aligned with God's will, or if you're making the right choices in life. It's easy to get lost in the noise of everyday life, but what if I told you that God is sending you clear, unmistakable signs to confirm your purpose? These signs can appear in the most unexpected ways, but they're always there waiting for you to notice. In today's video, we're diving into 8 powerful signs that God is confirming your purpose. These signs are not just random. They're divine affirmations that you are on the right path, and God is with you every step of the way. Ready to discover these signs? Stay tuned, and let's dive in. When it comes to your spiritual journey, feeling a deep sense of inner peace is often one of the first signs that you're on the right path. Even when life throws its challenges your way, that peace remains, almost like a shield, helping you stay grounded. It's like you're walking through the storms, but you've got this quiet assurance, a feeling that everything will be okay. This peace isn't something the world can give, it's a gift from God. Something that only comes when you're aligned with His purpose for your life. Think of it this way. When you're in a moment of true peace, it's not just about calm circumstances. It's about knowing you are where you're supposed to be. You might not have all the answers, and the road might be unclear, but you feel the presence of angels guiding you through. It's that divine reassurance that you're not walking alone. Whether you pray, meditate, or simply sit in stillness, that peace flows, knowing you're being held by something greater than yourself. This peace is often linked to your contentment, being content with what you have and where you are, even if things aren't perfect. You stop constantly striving for more, because you realize that God has already provided what you need. There's a sense of fulfillment that no material possession or worldly achievement can match. The Bible often speaks of contentment, encouraging us to be thankful in all circumstances, trusting that God's provision is enough. It's a quiet confidence that everything is unfolding as it should. One beautiful thing about inner peace is how it can grow over time. As you continue to walk in faith, this peace doesn't just stay the same, it deepens. The more you align with God's will, the more this peace becomes a constant companion. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world around you. You might face obstacles, even loss, but that peace helps you see beyond the present circumstances. It's like having a clear lens that helps you see life through a divine perspective. For those who may be struggling with finding peace, remember, it's a process. Just like you nurture a relationship with a close friend, you can nurture your relationship with God. You do this by praying, seeking His guidance, and allowing yourself to be still. And as you continue on your spiritual journey, peace will find its way to you, sometimes when you least expect it. Trust that even in moments of uncertainty, that inner peace is an indicator that God's hand is upon you. It's important to note that this peace isn't always loud or dramatic. It's often quiet, gentle, and persistent. It may look different for each person. Some feel it as a calm assurance, others as a stillness in their hearts. But no matter how it shows up, it's a powerful sign that you are on the right path, with God's approval. It's like the angels whispering, "You're exactly where you need to be." As you start to recognize this peace, remember, it's not just about feeling good, it's about alignment. Inner peace means you're not just going through the motions of life. You're living with purpose. You're allowing the presence of God to shape every part of your being. And as you continue to follow His guidance, you'll begin to notice that everything starts to fall into place, leading you toward greater clarity, wisdom, and purpose. Have you ever noticed that certain messages seem to appear over and over in your life? Whether it's through your prayers, dreams, the Bible, or even advice from a friend, these recurring signs can be a powerful indicator that God is trying to get your attention. Repeated patterns aren't just coincidences, they're divine nudges guiding you towards something important. When you start seeing the same messages in different forms, take a moment to pause and reflect. God might be speaking directly to your heart. For example, let's say you hear a particular Bible verse mentioned 3 times in a week, in different places. One moment, it's in a sermon, then it's in your prayer time, and maybe a friend casually brings it up in conversation. This kind of repetition is not random. It's God affirming something in your life, guiding you to pay attention and take action. These repeated messages are like breadcrumbs, leading you down the path He has set out for you. Sometimes, these patterns can also show up in your dreams. You might dream about certain symbols or situations over and over again. These dreams often carry messages about your spiritual journey. Dreams are a way your soul speaks to you, often pointing out things you may have missed during your waking hours. When you consistently see the same dream theme, it's like God is opening your eyes to something deeper, a message that you're meant to explore. And then there are the wise words of others. Have you ever had someone say something that felt like it was meant just for you, even if they didn't know your situation? These moments are not random. They can be considered a form of divine communication. God speaks to us through others all the time, sometimes directly through their words, and sometimes through their actions. Pay attention to the advice and encouragement you receive, especially when it comes up repeatedly. It could be a key to unlocking your next step. Of course, it's not just about noticing the messages, it's about taking action. Once you start recognizing these patterns, it's important to align your choices with what they're pointing to. Whether it's a new direction in your life, a change of perspective, or a decision you've been avoiding, these messages are meant to help guide you toward the right path. They're not meant to overwhelm or confuse you, but to confirm that God is actively involved in your journey. Remember, these repeated messages and patterns aren't always dramatic or loud. Sometimes they're subtle. It could be something as simple as hearing a specific word over and over, or seeing a symbol in unexpected places. The key is to stay open to receiving these divine signals. When you do, you'll begin to notice that God is indeed always speaking to you, offering guidance and comfort, and showing you the way. As you begin to tune in to these recurring messages, you'll realize that they're like spiritual road signs. They offer direction, encouragement, and affirmation that you are on the right path. It's almost like you're receiving little confirmations from God that you are in alignment with His will for your life. And when you trust these signs, it'll lead to deeper understanding and a stronger connection with your divine purpose. When everything in your life seems to align, even in ways that don't make immediate sense, it's a clear sign that God is at work. Sometimes, what appears to be an obstacle, loss, or setback can actually be the divine hand redirecting you toward a better path. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, feeling discouraged when things don't go as planned. But when you trust in God's plan, you'll begin to see that He uses even the tough times to position you for something greater. For instance, you might lose a job or face a major challenge, and at first, it feels like the end of the world. But months later, you realize that the loss led you to a new opportunity that was a better fit for you, both spiritually and professionally. God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes He removes certain things from your life to make room for blessings that you couldn't have imagined. In these moments, you might feel a sense of inner peace and contentment, knowing that everything is aligning perfectly for your good. This alignment isn't just about the good things. It's about seeing God's hand in everything. It's about recognizing that, even in hardship, He's working behind the scenes to turn things around for your benefit. The Bible assures us that God works all things together for the good of those who love Him. Romans 8:28. This means that, no matter the challenge, you can trust that He's guiding you to something better. Every experience, whether positive or negative, has a purpose in His plan for your life. You might notice that when you follow God's guidance, even the smallest details start to align. A chance encounter with someone leads to an opportunity you didn't expect. A conversation you had months ago suddenly becomes relevant to a situation you're facing today. These are the moments where you see the divine fingerprints on your life, confirming that you're walking the path He intended for you. The pieces start to come together, and you realize that God has been guiding you all along. Sometimes, alignment doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Trusting God in the waiting can be difficult, but it's in the waiting that you grow the most. The Bible teaches us that patience is a virtue, and that God's timing is always perfect. Even when things don't seem to be moving, trust that God is aligning everything in His perfect timing. Your breakthrough might be just around the corner, but you have to remain faithful and patient. Another important thing to remember is that alignment doesn't mean everything will be easy. In fact, God often uses the struggles to mold us into the people He wants us to become. The obstacles you face are part of the process, shaping you into someone who is stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling the blessings that are to come. And when everything aligns, you'll be ready to step into the new opportunities that God has prepared for you. As you see these alignments happening in your life, it's essential to remain open to change. When doors close, don't be afraid to walk through the ones that open. God is leading you towards something better. And when you trust Him, you'll find that everything truly does align for your good. It's a beautiful confirmation that you are on the right path, following the divine plan He has for you. New opportunities often appear in our lives when we least expect them. These moments are more than just coincidences. They're divine openings. When you start seeing doors open for you without much effort, it's a sign that God is paving the way. You might notice that, after a season of waiting, opportunities seem to pop up almost effortlessly. That's God's confirmation that you're on the right path and that He is making a way where there was no way. Think about the times when a job offer, a new friendship, or a life-changing connection seemed to fall into your lap. You might not have been actively seeking them, but suddenly they appear at just the right time. These new opportunities are God's way of showing you that you are exactly where you need to be. It's as if He is opening doors that were once closed and making paths where there were obstacles. It's also important to notice the people around you during these times. God often sends supportive people into your life to help guide you along your journey. These individuals might offer advice, encouragement, or even introduce you to new opportunities. When you find yourself surrounded by positive influences who believe in you, it's a clear sign that you're walking the right path. These people are part of God's plan to help you fulfill your purpose. New opportunities might also bring about a sense of peace and excitement, a feeling that things are falling into place. You might even find yourself feeling more confident and assured, trusting that God is opening doors specifically for you. It's not about trying to force things to happen. It's about recognizing when it's time to step through the doors that God has opened for you. When you do, you'll find that everything aligns perfectly, as if the universe itself is conspiring to help you succeed. But with new opportunities also comes responsibility. As doors open, you're called to walk through them with faith, humility, and purpose. It's not about chasing every opportunity that comes your way, but rather discerning which ones align with God's plan for your life. Prayer can help you navigate these decisions. When you ask God for guidance, He'll direct your steps, ensuring that you walk through the right doors and avoid those that might lead you astray. Sometimes, these opportunities come after a season of waiting or even loss. If you've been feeling like you've been stuck or unsure of your direction, trust that God has been preparing you for what's ahead. He uses the waiting periods to grow your faith and strengthen your character. And when the time is right, He opens doors that you could never have imagined. This is His way of showing that He has been working behind the scenes, preparing you for the blessings ahead. So, as you step into these new opportunities, do so with a heart full of gratitude and anticipation. Trust that God is opening doors for you, and know that He will continue to guide you every step of the way. With each new door that opens, you are one step closer to fulfilling your purpose and walking fully in His divine plan for your life. Spiritual growth is one of the clearest signs that you're on the right path. When you notice yourself drawing closer to God, feeling more connected to His presence, and experiencing a deeper understanding of His Word, it's a powerful confirmation that you are following the right direction. It's like your soul begins to expand, reaching new levels of faith and insight. This growth doesn't always happen in leaps and bounds, but more like small, steady steps that lead you to a place of profound transformation. You might find that, over time, certain things that once seemed important to you begin to lose their appeal. You start focusing more on the things of God and less on the material distractions of the world. This shift in priorities is a key sign of spiritual growth. It's as if your heart is being molded to align more closely with God's heart. When this transformation happens, it can feel like an inner renewal, as though you've awakened to a deeper sense of purpose and understanding. As you grow spiritually, you'll also notice an increase in your ability to hear God's voice more clearly. Prayer becomes more meaningful, and you may feel a deeper sense of peace and contentment after spending time with Him. The Bible starts to speak to you in new ways, and the lessons you learn are more impactful. You might even begin to see answers to your prayers more clearly, or experience a sense of divine guidance in your decisions. This heightened awareness is a direct result of your spiritual growth, confirming that you are on the right path. Another important aspect of spiritual growth is the development of compassion and understanding for others. You may find that your perspective shifts, and you start seeing people through God's eyes full of love, grace, and mercy. This isn't just about having a heart for others. It's about recognizing that the people around you are all part of God's plan, and you are called to be a light in their lives. As your heart grows, so does your capacity to show love and kindness, no matter the circumstances. Spiritual growth also leads to a deeper commitment to living out your faith every day. You may feel a stronger desire to serve others, whether through prayer, acts of kindness, or simply being present for someone in need. This growing sense of purpose and responsibility is a clear indication that you are in tune with God's will. The more you grow spiritually, the more you are equipped to carry out the work He has called you to do. It's not always an easy process. Spiritual growth often comes with challenges, doubts, and moments of uncertainty. But these challenges are part of the refining process. Just as gold is refined by fire, your faith is strengthened through trials. When you face difficulties and still choose to trust in God, your spiritual growth accelerates. It's through these challenges that you learn to rely on His strength and wisdom, solidifying your foundation in Him. When you look back on your journey, you'll see how far you've come. You'll notice the small changes in your heart and mind, and you'll feel a deep sense of gratitude for the spiritual growth you've experienced. It's a beautiful confirmation that you are on the right path, with God's approval, moving ever closer to your divine purpose. When you feel an unshakable conviction about a decision, even when circumstances are uncertain, it's a powerful sign that God is guiding you. There are times when you might be facing confusion, and everyone around you may offer differing opinions, but deep inside, you just know what the right choice is. That inner certainty, despite the doubts swirling around you, is the Holy Spirit affirming that you are aligned with God's will. It's like an unwavering compass, guiding you to your destiny, no matter what the world may say. Consider the times in your life when you've had to make difficult decisions. Maybe it was choosing a career path, moving to a new place, or even pursuing a relationship. Despite external pressures, there was a voice within that told you to trust God's timing and His plan. When you listen to that inner conviction, you step out in faith, knowing that the Lord is leading you in the right direction. That certainty in your heart isn't just self-confidence, it's divine confirmation. This conviction can also show up in moments when the road ahead seems unclear. You might not have all the answers, and things may look messy or uncertain. But there's something in your soul that assures you, this is the right path. God has a plan for me, even if I can't see it right now. This is the voice of God telling you to trust in His plan, to keep moving forward even when you can't see the full picture. You are not walking this journey alone. God is with you every step of the way. There's a sense of peace that accompanies this conviction. Even when you face adversity, you can maintain your calm because you know, without a doubt, that you are following the path God has laid before you. For example, when you feel uncertain about a decision, you might pray, and after praying, you suddenly feel a wave of peace wash over you, confirming that you're doing the right thing. That peace is the proof that God is with you, guiding you, and strengthening your resolve. But this conviction doesn't come without challenges. You may face setbacks, distractions, or people who try to talk you out of your decision. However, the more you trust God and rely on His guidance, the stronger that conviction becomes. It's like a muscle, you have to exercise it in moments of uncertainty to make it stronger. The more you stand firm in your faith, the more you'll be able to weather the storms that come your way. There are also moments when God confirms your conviction in surprising ways. You might hear a sermon or read a passage from the Bible that directly speaks to the decision you're facing. Or perhaps a friend will offer you advice that aligns perfectly with the direction you felt called to go. These are God's little nudges, confirming that you're on the right track. When these moments happen, they're not just coincidental, they're divine confirmations that your conviction is rooted in God's will. So, if you're feeling an unshakable conviction about something in your life, don't ignore it. Trust that God is leading you, even when the path ahead is unclear. His guidance will be your anchor, providing the strength and peace you need to make decisions that align with His purpose for your life. When you're walking in alignment with God's plan, one of the most reassuring signs is the provision and support that flows into your life. Even in times of struggle, you might find that your needs are met in unexpected ways. God promises to provide for His children, and when you're on the right path, you will witness His provision firsthand. Whether it's financial, emotional, or spiritual support, God will make sure you have what you need to continue on your journey. Think about the times when you faced a tough situation, and just when you thought there was no way out, a solution appeared. Maybe someone offered help, or you received unexpected financial support, or you found peace in a moment of turmoil. These instances are signs that God is providing for you, guiding you, and reminding you that you are not alone. His provision doesn't always come in the form you expect, but it always arrives at the right time. This divine provision also comes through the people around you. God places people in your life to support you. Whether it's a mentor who gives you wisdom, a friend who encourages you, or a community that lifts you up in prayer. These people are part of God's plan, working as His instruments to provide for you. When you see this network of support around you, it's a clear sign that you are on the right path. God is using others to walk with you, ensuring that you have everything you need to succeed. Sometimes, provision isn't just about meeting your material needs, it's about spiritual and emotional support as well. During difficult times, you might find yourself filled with a sense of peace or experiencing a new sense of purpose. This inner support is God's way of fortifying your spirit, reminding you that He is always with you. Even when the external circumstances aren't ideal, God's support strengthens you from within, giving you the resilience to keep moving forward. This is especially true when you face challenges that seem insurmountable. When you're dealing with hardships, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, but it's in those moments that God's provision shines brightest. He may not take away the struggle immediately, but He will give you the strength and the support you need to endure. Through prayer and trust, you'll find that God equips you to handle more than you ever thought possible. Divine provision also comes with a sense of trust. As you walk in alignment with God's will, you begin to see that you don't have to worry about your future. God knows what you need before you even ask. The more you trust Him, the more you'll see His provision manifest in your life. When you surrender your worries and place your trust in God's timing, He will open doors and provide the resources you need, just when you need them. So, as you walk on your journey, remember that God's provision is always with you. It may not always look like what you expect, but it will always be enough. Trust that God will meet your needs, surround you with support, and provide everything you need to continue on the path He has set for you. Resilience through challenges is one of the clearest signs that God is shaping you for something greater. Life is full of obstacles, some big, some small, but when you face them with unwavering faith, you show that your trust in God's plan is strong. Challenges are not meant to break you. They're designed to refine you. Just as gold is purified by fire, your faith is strengthened through trials. The more you press on, the more resilient you become, proving that you are walking the right path. Consider how many times in your life you faced moments that seemed insurmountable. Maybe you've lost a job, gone through a difficult relationship, or experienced a deep personal loss. Yet, through those challenges, you found a way to keep going. It wasn't always easy, but you held on to God's promises. These moments of resilience are signs that God is working in you, helping you to become the person He has called you to be. Each challenge you overcome adds a layer of strength to your spirit, drawing you closer to Him. When you remain firm in your faith despite the difficulties, it's a clear indication that God is using those trials to shape you. The Bible is full of stories of people who faced unimaginable obstacles but found strength in God. Think of Job, who endured loss and suffering but still praised God. Or consider David, who faced Goliath with nothing but a sling and his faith in God's power. Their stories are reminders that resilience isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about trusting God through the tough times and knowing that He will guide you through to the other side. In times of difficulty, your ability to remain calm and focused is a sign of spiritual maturity. You may not have all the answers, but you have the confidence that God is with you every step of the way. That confidence is not born from your own strength, but from the knowledge that God is the ultimate source of your resilience. When you pray, when you turn to Him for guidance, you tap into a divine strength that carries you through even the hardest moments. It's important to remember that challenges are not punishments. They are opportunities for growth. God allows challenges to come into your life to build your character, your faith, and your dependence on Him. The more you face difficulties and choose to lean on God, the more you will develop the resilience to endure anything. Through each trial, you become stronger, more confident in God's love, and more prepared for the purpose He has for you. There may be times when you feel like giving up, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, but it's in those moments that your resilience is tested. Trust that God will never leave you. He will provide the strength you need to keep going. Sometimes, resilience means taking things one day at a time, trusting that with each step forward, God is leading you closer to the breakthrough you need. So, as you face challenges in your journey, remember that God is using these experiences to prepare you for greater things. Your resilience through hardship is a sign that you are walking the path He has set before you. Hold on to your faith, keep praying, and trust that God will give you the strength to overcome anything that comes your way. As we wrap up, Take a moment to reflect on the powerful signs we've discussed today. Have you noticed these signs in your own life? God's messages are everywhere, whether it's through unshakable conviction, divine provision, or resilience through challenges. The key is to stay connected with Him and trust that His guidance is always present, even in the toughest times. So, what are you waiting for? Embrace these signs, take action, and continue to walk confidently in the direction God is leading you. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these signs in your journey? How have they helped you strengthen your faith? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Activate the notifications so you never miss out on more powerful content that will transform your life. Together, let's keep learning and growing in faith, one step at a time.